Dear audience, I have a confession to make. I've been holding back on one of the main reasons I chose to visit Paraguay in my travels, and that's guns. Basically, when it came to evaluating which countries I wanted to visit as potential candidates for permanent expatriation, it on it I've never really lived somewhere where I decided I have to live here, or I love this place, or I can't live anywhere else. Like, I've never really cared that much. So I started looking for unique aspects of different countries as an excuse for visiting. What is it about this place that I would want to check out? So, as long as I have an internet connection and a gaming machine of some kind and/or a computer, and I have decent access to food at a decent supermarket, I'm fine. I don't really care. So when I was evaluating different countries to visit, I needed some sort of unique thing that I needed to check out for myself to put it on my list, and that's why I only ended up with a couple countries. Now, obviously, I started with Chile, and there are good reasons to visit Chile. There's, economy is doing well. It's built up. The infrastructure is good. Just kind of a really nice place. Got great weather, varied weather, and there's a lot of buzz in the libertarian community. That's the main reason for me, is that there's so much buzz in the libertarian community between Galt's Gulch, which is going through a lot of turmoil now, but I wish it the best. I hope it works out. But there's Galt's Gulch, there's Exosphere, there were other libertarian sort of projects starting up in Chile, and there's a decent number of people moving here for that specific reason, or at least visiting. So, Chile had its reasons, but for me, in Paraguay, it was guns. I had heard what the gun laws were, and I wanted to check it out for myself. So after being here for a bit, I did look into it, and here's the deal. If you're in Paraguay, and let's say you're a Paraguayan citizen, you apply to be able to buy guns, and it takes about a week. And I think there's a psychological test involved to make sure you're not crazy. So in about a week, you can buy guns. And there's no restriction on the number of guns you can buy. There's, as you can see from the video here, there's all kinds of the scary guns that Nancy Pelosi wants to ban. There doesn't appear to be a problem with, the barrel lengths, and you can't have, certain grips, and I don't see any particular restrictions on that stuff. So that just takes about a week. But here's the kicker. If you want to be able to carry in Paraguay, it takes another application, which takes about another week. So basically, within 2 weeks, you can be packing heat in Paraguay. Now, that's what it takes to just get approved to actually carry. And to me, that's pretty significant, number one, because like in Chile, you can buy guns. There are restrictions on the number of guns you can buy, and there's certainly no carry option. And there are other countries where you can buy guns, but there's never a carry option. Paraguay has a carry option. You can CCW in Paraguay. This is huge. This is like one of the only places outside the United States I know of where you can even do that. Now here's the huge thing. Here's the big thing. You don't have to be a citizen to own a gun or to CCW or to carry, period. In that 2 weeks to get approved to get a gun and to carry, you do not have to be a citizen. All you have to do is get residency. So as long as you're a resident of Paraguay, you're good. Residency for Paraguay takes about 6 months. And at the moment, I don't believe you need to live in Paraguay for that time period. I think you need to show up maybe for a couple days to get the process started. But if you don't want to stay there for that 6 months, I don't believe you need to be there. But a 6 month process to get approved as a resident in Paraguay. another 2 weeks for the once you're a resident, get a couple weeks for the application process, and you're good to go to carry. So it's sort of like a May issue situation. Like if you're familiar with the U.S., it'd be like a May issue state. But they don't seem to be like the first application to just own guns. Apparently, that basically never gets rejected. Like pretty much everybody's going to get that approved. As far as carrying, it doesn't seem like that's from what I've heard from people. There's no like California style de facto gun control where they don't approve people. It sounds like you're pretty much good to go there too, unless there's like a really specific reason why you shouldn't have a gun. For example, you're crazy or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, within 2 weeks, you don't even have to be a citizen. It takes about 6 months, and you're good to go. This is firearm freedom that is comparable, if not superior, in some ways to the United States. This is huge to me. I mean, there are many times I've heard people say, I would go live somewhere else, but there's nowhere outside of America where I can own the guns in my arsenal and all this. Well, now there is. Now you know that there is. I have found it. And here's the really mind-blowing part. Up until a couple of years ago, you didn't even need to be a resident. You just go to Paraguay, just a tourist, whatever. You're a human being. You walk into a gun shop, you buy whatever you want, and you can carry it. That's the way it was up until like only 2 years ago. I kind of missed the boat on that one, but it's still pretty awesome with the residency being all that's required. And I mean, this is just something that I think you guys really needed to know about. So let's see. So yeah, I went to the range to go ahead and shoot. I went with a local friend, and I was clear to do it. I think she had to use her Paraguayan ID or whatever, but it was okay for me to actually shoot. So I went ahead and I shot at the range. There was some weird reason that the guy gave that I couldn't record. It was stupid. I don't know, but I couldn't actually record myself shooting. But yeah, I went to a couple different gun shops. As far as the brands you can find, I actually found most major brands represented. The only ones that like specifically missing that was a big name was Glock. I didn't see any Glocks at all. I did see the Czech versions, like the CZ pistols that take Glock magazines. There were plenty of those. But other than that, I saw plenty of SIGs. There were XDs. I think there were Springfield. I'm not. There were Springfield guns. I'm not sure though. I did see 1911s and 22 caliber. Not sure if I saw some in others. Let's see. SIGs. I think Walther. But yeah, there's some other, and there were some foreign. There was some Turkish and Italian guns that I wasn't familiar with. The gun I actually rented was some Italian 9mm. And anyway, so I went to the range. I shot some rounds. I will say the ammunition was ridiculously expensive. It was over $1 a bullet for like any caliber. It was 9mm that I was shooting. It was over $1. The 38 ammo for the other gun I could have rented was even a little bit more expensive. So yeah, it's a little over. It's like $1 to $1.25 for just about any ammo. So yeah, I mean, if you do come to Paraguay and you're living here and you're a gun enthusiast and you actually want to shoot a lot, I mean, maybe it was a fluke. I mean, I don't know if that's just the way this particular gun shop I went to does it. Maybe it's cheaper elsewhere. But if that is the rule and not the exception, then if you're going to be here and you're a gun enthusiast and you're going to shoot a lot, I would definitely look into reloading equipment and reload your own ammo, maybe even casting it. And if you do that, I mean, you could probably make some money given those kinds of prices if you can make your own ammo. But anyway, yeah, that was that is the situation with guns in Paraguay. There is firearm freedom outside the U.S., and this is not. To me, the significant thing here is I'm not saying this is just some, South American country and there's no enforcement, so you can just get away with it. You don't even have to worry about that. You don't have the guillotine of some draconian gun laws above your head if you decide to risk it. This is full-on, clear, legal by the local government standards, firearm freedom that exists outside of the United States that you need to know about. So there you go. Now you know. And I'll have one more video on Paraguay coming out, and then we're going to be back in Chile. Actually, I am now, but as far as videos go, one more in Paraguay, but we'll be back in Chile. Now you know if there's another place to go to where you can own and carry guns. Let me know again, guys, if you have any other questions about life outside the U.S., and we will see you in the next video.